Welcome to All in Motion. This is your host, Scar City. On behalf of my partner, Jacob Harrison, I want to welcome you all to an amazing episode. We've actually reached a great milestone, which is our 40th episode. And we are very thrilled to have Alexander the Great back for a second time. This episode is entitled Communication is Nothing Without Comprehension. Let's get into it.
In relationships, people say stuff like, communication is the key. And that's pretty common. People know that in relationships, but the relationship still fails. They know that communication is key. And things like you said, don't make a person feel shame, whether it's a man or a woman, because sometimes the man feels shame and the woman is like, yo, my girlfriend, her man make, $100,000, and you sitting here at this job, a blue collar job, and you making, $18 an hour, and they like, yo, man, I want to go on trips and I want to live my best life, and you know what I'm saying, and do all these things. What do you think is the for the audience? What do you think is what's up with that? Like we know that communication is the key, but
man, I learned something that's more than communication.
What's that?
Comprehension.
Ooh, Alexander the Great, y'all. Comprehension, because if you can't comprehend this and break it down, that communication is really pointless.
If you don't care how good you communicate, if that person you talking to don't comprehend what you're saying, it don't matter. That's why it's very important to me, comprehension and communicating in a way that your partner can comprehend what you're saying. Because sometimes you could be like, sometimes there's some people out here are very intelligent, right?
Right.
Some of the smart people, but guess what? They don't know how to communicate well. They don't know how to communicate to somebody else to comprehend it, because everybody don't comprehend on the same level. You gotta the way you communicate, you have to be able to adjust your communication for someone to comprehend. And sometimes if you comprehend this to someone that has, go back to what we're talking about, somebody that has anger and resentment, then like, I'm gonna give you an example on that. Me and my woman now, talking to her, we talk well. She is amazing. I was talking to her about how men are creating or making more so-called women for the streets. She belonged to the streets. And I was talking to her about also, I basically was talking to her about, first of all, let me go back, I'm sorry. I was going to her talking about women creating F-boys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But because if she's sitting back waiting on her, she waiting for a Prince Chopper, but she get bored or she wants some feelings, and she go out and say, I'm gonna just go mess with these dudes that I know ain't no good, but because they ain't gonna catch no feelings, so I'm gonna mess with them. She's psyching herself out. So she go out here and keep messing with these dudes. She knows these dudes ain't marriage material, but she gonna keep messing with because she having fun. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is, what you doing, you are creating F-boys. You are participating in creating more F-boys. So when it's time for you to be like, you know what, you're gonna be like, what my Prince Charming at? No, you turning even decent dudes, because a decent dude looking at a dude that's getting all the sex and all the girls, because he wilding out. That decent dude that ain't got no strong backbone could easily fall into trying to become that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I said that to my woman, she even said, she admitted, she said, because she responded, she was like, well, it's double standard. I was like, what? I was like, she didn't get what I'm saying. So then I came back and broke down how men are also creating so-called girls for the streets. So then she was like, okay. And we talked about, she said, you know what? She the one gave me that information for us about being angry about the double standards. You know what I'm saying? So so the way she responded was based off her resentment and anger from the double standard. So she missed what I was truly saying. But I had to redirect what I was saying and not just say what women were doing to make these F-boys, but I had to also come back and say men are creating women for the street in order for her to really get what I was saying. See, that's me, first of all, acknowledging I was communicating something and she wasn't comprehending, because she was feeling the anger and the resentment from the double standard. So I had to come back and come up with some more information about what men doing the same thing on the other side of the coin, and then she was able to comprehend what I was saying.
Yeah, man. I think that I think in this society, one thing we got to stop doing as a society is we got to stop trying to make everybody fit into a certain type of prototype. What I mean by that is, if you look at, there's people there's women that are sister wives that are happy. There's actually a TV show out now, and I'm gonna plug them real quick. It's called Brother Husbands, where the woman has more than one man, and they live together. The man is okay with her having another man. Like this is a society that everybody's not gonna be in a monogamous relationship, and everybody's not gonna be faithful. And a lot of times you trying to, I know what I notice in relationships is people try to change the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, they used to say, don't make a hoe into a housewife, or, or dude's a cheater, and he's just gonna keep dealing with women. I know dudes that did that, and all the way from their childhood all the way to stay in their 60s, and they still running through women like they was in college or something.
I know it too, man. Or some story, you be like, wow.
Right. So that goes back to what you said earlier about there is no magic number. I know people want to think that. I used to hear, I have women friends, and they used to tell me like, oh, I'm gonna wait until this guy gets 30, or I'm gonna wait until this guy, turns 40 for him to mature. I'm gonna give him a few years. But I feel like if people really want to change, they're gonna change cold turkey. They're just gonna change their ways. And it's also what you said, finding out what's the reason why somebody's doing what they're doing. Yeah, they still not happy. Then they try third woman and they still not happy. So it's something within themselves that needs to be examined, right?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like, say for instance, I don't cheat, right? Me not cheating is bigger than just a woman. It's more or less because of my core values and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's bigger than you, me being in so in love with you. It's bigger than that. It's about I believe in what I want, what I put out is what I'm gonna get. So that's why. I say it's gotta be something big. It can't put even with the relationships you're talking about. With us as humans, sometimes we feel we'll understand. Like when you talk about them type of relationship, I don't understand. That ain't where I'm set up. So I can't really judge it. It don't work for me. See, I'm gonna tell you, that comes from when we were little. The kids who made A's got praise and everything, right? So the ones who didn't, so we got a mindset of, in order for me to be right, you got to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we spend a lot of time trying to prove. Right. Like you got religions trying to, when you go to some religion, they talk about each other more than they talk about their own. They'll talk about what is really, because it's like in order for me to be right, I gotta take time to prove you wrong.
Right.
So a lot of wasted energy is wasted rather than saying, you know what, let me see your point of view. Because we come together, we might can find some, because it's really about core values anyway. So let me check out your core value. Because at the end of the day, most religions trying to make better people. You know what I'm saying? Most of them. I can't speak for all of them, but the ones who trying to make better people, how can I argue with you about whatever you believe if you becoming a better man? You know what I'm saying?
Right. You going to war.
We waste time trying to prove each other wrong.
Right. Facts. That's correct. And then relationships is the same way. We do that. Yes. Like you said, the kid that got the A's and the A pluses, you're getting rewarded for that, and look down on other people even if the core values are still decent but different. People don't like different.
That's cool.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
As long as they workable. Like it's very rare you're gonna be somebody out the same core. Like, but you just want to know that they're trying to be better people. They're trying to be better people. They might see it different. You know how many times, be honest with you, man, I hate to say this, but sometimes we don't came across people that was good matches for us, but we just weren't ready at the time, and it was our mindset. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of us, be honest with you, man, the reason why a lot of people ain't finding what they're looking for because they don't want to work. What people want to do, they want to find someone. You talked about this. People want to find someone where I can let go. They look for someone so they can let go. When they don't realize, you told me you've been married 20 years, and you told me this. When you get married, that's the beginning. You finna go to work. So if you looking for something, I'm trying to find a guy to accept me. I'm trying to find a woman to accept me. Basically what you're saying, I'm trying to find somebody that ain't gotta do no more work. That's basically what you're saying. And that's the first mistake, the way you envision relationship. That's why most people ain't got nobody that wants somebody. A lot of them, because in their mind, they're like, I'm looking for somebody to fit me and accept me for what I am. In reality, we are constantly changing. I can ask you right now, you and your wife have changed since the time y'all first been together. Y'all done changed so many times on different
Many
views
times,
and
yeah,
everything.
many times. Right.
So
And
on
then we
views and
change at
everything.
different levels.
So what happens is people get with people and stuff start changing, views start changing. That's why divorce rate is so high, because people ain't going in like, you know what, I'm going to work. When I first got married, I didn't realize how much work it was. Now I got a different mindset. My mindset is like, it's work. My mindset that I'm gonna find this woman and we just gonna sell off in the sunset and everything gonna click, and I'm gonna just be like, and I'm gonna have to work less. No, I don't believe that no more. I believe even me and my woman right now, we communicate great, but we still have to come back and communicate. We still got to learn how to communicate so we both can comprehend. We got to learn to listen good. We got to learn to, first of all, we got to learn to keep our feelings, the underlying feelings out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying with the resentment and anger on my past. Most people ain't ready for a relationship because they don't know how to deal with that. They just react and say, that's just me. I ain't trying to get, no. So a lot of times we just not ready for relationships. Not that real relationship. Like you and your wife been through. Y'all been through the fire.
Fire.
Most people really don't. Most people want a relationship, but they don't want that, dog. They don't want that. But they be honest with themselves. They don't want that. They don't want that.
Yeah, it's too much work.
They looking for smooth sailing, man.
Right. Yeah, because
you told me the other day, you hit me with reality the other day. You said, me and my wife, you said we worked through stuff. You said it got tougher. That was so real to me, man. It was like God saying, even though I believe it, I got a different mindset now. God was like, hey, this man, 20 years, he still said it's tougher now than then. So do you want that? I got to be like, I want that. I got to prepare my mind to see that. Right. I ain't even trying to tell myself, because I'm gonna tell you how, before you told me that, my mind was set like, okay, my belief is if something hard, it could get easier with the proper steps. If something easy, it's gonna get hard. I believe that. I believe if you choose something because it's easy, it's gonna get harder. You choose something harder, it could get easy. So so my mindset, you broke my mindset because you said, I said, so my mind, I was like, okay, if I get with someone, I'm gonna accept some. If I get with somebody, we got core values alike, and even if it's hard in the beginning, the circumstances, I'm gonna work. I know now I can work through it. If you work through it, it's gonna get easy. But then when you hit me, what you hit me with, it was like God was like, where you get that from? It don't mean it's gonna get easier. It's probably gonna get harder because y'all gonna change. So put on your big boy draws and say, you know what? I don't care how tough it get. Me and this woman gonna make it work. We're gonna work on our comprehension and our communication. We're gonna get through everything. That's the mindset you gotta have.
Right.
If you ain't got
that's
that
the winner's mindset.
If you ain't got that mindset, get off these damn dating apps, please.
Right.
Because you're wasting space. You're wasting space. And people get frustrated from that. And people get frustrated when you're dating, you're trying to date, you get with people, and they're not even able to be accountable. That's frustrating for men. Men are just as frustrated as women. I understand women are frustrated. I get it. You keep getting with guys, and they guys are smooth. Guys know what to say. And then you find out something else. Man, men that's really about that life and trying to find somebody. It's a lot of men out here trying to find a great woman, a good woman, and hopefully they get great together. You know what I'm saying? But when you meeting women, I know for me, it's frustrating when you meet women, they not even be able to be accountable about simple stuff. Right. And we over 40, and I'm dealing with you dealing with teenage mindsets, like stuff
right.
You know, like I dated a girl that had on the cable guy was coming over, and she had and I didn't know that, you know, you find that stuff you go along. She got on poom shorts, but I'm like, that's a cable. First of all, for your safety. Second of all, she actually was having in her feelings about me saying, I don't think you should do that. You 40 something years old, and I got to tell you that. Come on, man, that's aggravating as a man that's serious about the dating game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I understand you might have a man in your life to tell you that, and I get it. So don't be so aggressive when somebody coming at you with constructive criticism, and they reason why, you know, it's because they care. Right.
I think it'll go back to what you said. It's beyond communication, and at this point, even comprehension, because, you know, you have to be willing to want to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because I know she knows that she shouldn't be doing that. Come on, man.
Yes.
Would you know what I'm saying? Like, would you let your daughter walk around like that in front of a
What?
man, the cable man? So you just should not be doing that. You know, and you know how men are. You know,
Yeah.
the especially the blue collar. I mean, any type of men, right? But specifically, like the blue collar, like where they're going into people's homes or where they're doing construction, anything with their hands. You already know they're coming. Oh, yeah, these ladies be looking this way, and you don't care about that, and that's disrespectful to yourself and the man. But people don't see it like that. They like, look, this, like you said earlier, they're like, yo, this is me. This, you don't come in and trying to change me. So that right there should tell a man all he needs to know. But it's not just the men. It's women too. Women go through this with men. A lot of times women have told me that men have that teenage mindset and they're 20, 30 years old, but they still acting like teenagers. They don't want to get a job. They want to be lazy. They don't want to take responsibility, you know? And my thing is, that's why I think marriage is important, man. When I was younger, I was like, I don't want to get married. We waited a while. We were together since we were teenagers. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, that marriage shit, I don't want to do it. But it's very important, because the most important thing that I've experienced with marriage is the vows. When you give those vows, that's like your testimony. That's like your testament to say, here's what I'm going to do. If a person is in violation of that, they ain't doing what they need to do, whether it's the man not doing it or the woman. But if you just dating somebody who out here just smashing and just and bopping, and whether it's man or woman, whatever, if you're not, you don't have a commitment to anybody, you're not committed, they don't have any reason to do that. You taking an oath, whether you believe in God or whether you believe in self or whatever you're doing. You gave me your commitment that this is what you're going to do. That's why the divorce rate is so high. Like you said, 50, 60%. That's crazy. That's half of us. How is it half of us is relationships are failing?
And go back to what you're saying. Like, the reason why we talk about this soul ties and all this, because people got to understand, when you out there and you just doing your thing, it's a mindset. It's a mindset of people you dealing with, whether you know it or not, because they are with what's going on. Your mind is not elevating. So what happens is, when the right one come along, you got certain mindsets that person that's, if they've been about their business, it's going to expose who you are. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why you got to be mindful. Even when you out here, you going here and there, you got to be mindful of your mindset, because if, like, say for instance, if you a woman, I'm not just saying to women, it could be the man also. If you're a woman and you've been dealing with guys, that's all y'all been doing is having a good time, sex, having a good time. Y'all go out, have a good time. So you got to understand, y'all, he not, and then you've been dealing with all these kind of guys. All y'all been talking about is surface stuff, having fun, doing this. So when you meet a guy that really feeling you, or a woman that really feeling you, they got different conversation with you. For you, they're going to be asking you stuff that make you a better person. Like, why you go out so much? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, or why you do this, or why, it's certain things, certain habits. You create habits when you get in certain world. Right. And maybe you got soul ties sometimes, not just to people, but to lifestyles. Right. You might got a soul tie to a lifestyle. So when somebody come along, they got a different lifestyle or higher level of lifestyle, a lot of times you're going to feel ashamed. Right. When you're dealing with somebody higher and you've been just wilding out, you meet somebody a higher standard, you're going to feel that shame. And what we talked about, that shame don't feel good. So sometimes people run or they sabotage the relationship on their own. Sometimes having a lower mindset, like you done been out here wilding out doing your thing, but then you meet someone that got a higher a mindset, you attracting them because of that. But now they might address certain issues or mindsets, or habits you have. And I said, not just soul ties to people. Sometimes we have soul ties. I ain't gonna even say sometimes. We have soul ties to lifestyles. Subconsciously sabotage someone say for instance, you've been out here living a certain like a mindset. If you out here just running through women or running through men or just trying to serial date, you acquire a certain mindset. You got to have a certain mindset to even do that, right? So what happens is you meet someone of have higher value mentally or spiritually, or got a higher standard of living. You meet them, it's a mirror gonna come up, because everybody, a lot of people are not comfortable with those people, because that person actually show you, looking at their life, show you where you just run around here like a kid. You know what I'm saying? Right. Absolutely. So what happens, and what I was saying is, sometimes we have soul ties. Sometimes we have soul ties with people, but then a lot of times we have soul ties to lifestyle. A man that's running around with chicks and just knocking down chicks, that's a lifestyle. So what happens when you meet a woman who's serious and she started dressing like, well, why you go to strip clubs a lot? Why you do this a lot? He either gonna rebel against it and explain it or deflect it. It could cause friction even though he want that woman at a higher level, it's gonna cause friction. So hopefully they got good communication and good comprehension to be able to, and hopefully he want to elevate.
Right. And that's the thing where I say, why choose, like what a woman will say a lot of times is, if a man fits the criteria of what they want, if he's tall, he got good money, he's good in the bed, they open off of those things, right? And a lot of times the man that's actually the real man of your dreams, that's going to actually get you to the level that you need to be on, he may not look like that. He may be a little bit more pounds. He may be a little bit shorter than what you're used to dealing with. He may make a little bit less money, but that's the one. That's probably the one for you that will take you to that next level, to paradise. You know what I'm saying? But they won't do it because of the physical attraction. Same thing with a man. He wants the woman with the crazy body, but there's a woman that may not be as good looking as this woman. She may not have the big breasts or the big ass or the lips you're looking for and the eyes and all that. Look, she may not look like that, but that might be the one that takes you there to provide you with intangible,
and you pick out what you hit exactly right. To pick about what you said, to be honest with you, this is real right here. If you just trying to choose somebody because of physical first, you really ain't ready to commit into something serious. In the 20 years you got, you're not ready for that. Because I'm gonna tell you why. For me, I'm trying to start. I want to see what their core values is first. Right. And a lot of people that's trying to date and be in a relationship, their core values not in place. They don't really have no core value. They focus on what you said. If you focus on if you that critical about, at the end of the day, you should just want to be attracted. You should want to be attracted to a person. I don't believe in being with nobody you ain't attracted to. I just think you should be attracted to the person and you should be inspired. You should look up to them in some area. You might have some areas where you weak in, but you see them strong. You need to be physically attracted to them. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's how I look at it. I need your core to have similar core values that I respect. And then and I need to be attracted to you. And that attraction, you ain't got to be top of the line. I need to be, I've been attracted to some women that other men might not have been attracted to. So it ain't really that. I need to be, now if you be with somebody you ain't attracted to them, you say, I'm gonna just be with them. I'm not attracted to them, but I'm gonna be because they're a good person. I think that's detrimental. I think that can go sour. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think people, like you said, people focusing on physical, and I get it. You should do that. That's the first thing you see. I get that. But once you see what you're attracted to, now you need to be searching what's going on with inside them, because that's who you have to deal with when that physical pass. When they get old, when her titties drop, when that man, when his teeth start falling out of the mouth, you're gonna be dealing with what's going on inside of him. And if you don't like that person, what's going on inside of them, y'all ain't gonna be able to do 20 years like y'all did. I promise you that.
Right.
You ain't gonna be able to do it.
Sure. Most relationships fail in the first 5 years.
You might not be the best looking person you've been with or the best looking person in the world, but are you attracted to them? Do you look at them and say, damn, they look good? You know what I'm saying? Like she go throw a dress when it's time for y'all to go somewhere. Damn, she look good. Damn, he look good. If you get that, you good.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, man. I think we touched on some good topics. Before we close out, just want to bring up one more question for you, Alexander the Great, and then we're about to close out. I appreciate you coming to All Emotion.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. And one last thing is, do you feel like education is a factor? Because I feel like when you mentioned, you dealing with a woman that, the cable guy's coming over and she got pom pom shorts on, and the cable guy's aroused and excited, and like you said, first and foremost, the safety is at risk. Right. Yeah. It may not even be at that moment. It may be another moment. You may entice that person to get crazy. You don't know who you're dealing with. You're letting them into your personal space. So I feel like education is a factor in all of this. You should be educated on women should be educated on men. That's why I notice a lot of women that they had, like, if they grew up with brothers, you hear women like, oh, I had 3 brothers or I had 5 brothers. Their IQ is higher when it comes to how to deal with men and understanding men and how to comprehend, right? Same thing with men. A lot of men, when they're raised around girls or women in the household, they understand things better because you're in a cipher or circle of women. It's women around you. So you hear their complaints. You hear that, yeah, you know what, men never gonna do this. And then if they give you something, they're gonna hold it against you. So I don't want no man to do shit to me. You're around that. So you know not to be that way because you're around that. So do you feel like education plays a part?
Man, hey man, it's so deep what you're saying, man. I ain't gonna even lie. I thought about something one time. I wish the schools would have a class on educating how to relationships. I mean, not just relationship like girlfriend and boyfriend, husband and wife. I'm talking about relationship. What we talked about, first of all, education. From physical standpoint, I agree with you. It should be in schools. Like we should give it to the start them out young, showing them how to deal with conflict, how to deal with disagreements, they should be taught that. But also, it goes back to what you said. We talked about comprehension. Comprehension is part that learning how to comprehend or learning how to communicate to somebody different, because everybody don't comprehend the same way. A dude who ain't have a college degree, who grew up in the hood, might not comprehend. Probably don't comprehend the same way somebody got. And it ain't about education. It's about the person. And I'm assuming that been through college and all that got more of a vocabulary, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a big vocabulary. I don't have a big vocabulary now. But in my head, it's a lot of words going on, and I use simple terms to break down what I'm saying sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But if I would have went to college and studied words, I'd probably be more eloquent in how I speak. But my thing is, I'm focusing on, but you comprehend me though. You know what I'm saying? So I take the best of what I got because I desire to. You know what makes comprehension good is when you truly desire for someone to understand.
Right.
You find, and I think we need that in school. And I also believe, so I agree with you on we need to be educated. Even now, we educate now. We need to have more dialogue with women and men, being honest about what they feel, but and creating a space where people can become more vulnerable. Because I don't care how good talk shows is, if you ain't willing to be being vulnerable, to me, I look at like that's my cross. I want to get to a level where I'm so vulnerable because I want it to help people. As long as I feel like what I'm saying is helping people, I'm trying to be more vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Because it's big. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say everything is for a bigger reason. Even me being on this talk, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than being up here. You know, like ratings, all that. It's about. I'm like, man, I want to get more vulnerable so I can help somebody that's in those situations. Because people are in those situations, but they don't have platforms where they can be vulnerable. And what I ain't gonna say, yes, it is. People do have platform, but it takes certain people to get out, to jump out there. You know what I'm saying? Be vulnerable. And it's not easy. It's not easy showing people like with me, I'm comfortable with, I don't fail so much. That's why people are like, how you get this information? Because I fail so much. I don't fail every which way you can name. You name it, I did it.
Right. And that's the thing what you said, being vulnerable. When you're vulnerable, that's the truth of you. That's your truth. That's the reality. When somebody's not vulnerable and they're putting on a mask, you know what I'm saying? They're putting on a mask and walking through the world with a mask on. You're not really being true to who you are. So the message is not going to be received. You're not going to be able to reach people because people know when you're being authentic. That's why we love Tupac so much, because it's like, yo, dear mama, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, even though you was a black queen, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
What? Like, that's real life. Because look, guess what? Nobody want to tell their mama was on crack, but he stood out and said, my mama on crack.
Right.
So anytime you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you're going to help so many people, but it ain't easy doing that. You got to be
comfortable. Because people will make fun of you, and people will use it against you.
Yes, you got to be strong enough to say, you know what? I know they're going to, you got to laugh at you. You got to say, you know what? You know they're going to do that. When you be vulnerable, you know some people going to be like, what? Some people going to judge you and their life ain't even together. That's how crazy it is, but you got to be willing. That's taking the cross. You know what I'm saying? That's getting on the cross saying, you know what? I'm sacrificed. Love is sacrifice. So I'm going to sacrifice my life that's all messed up in order to help others and tell people so it'll help other people. That's sacrifice.
Right. Facts. For sure. And most people don't want to do that. But with that said, I'm going to close it out, man. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to let you finish your last thought and then I'm going to close it out. Okay. Man, get ready to start editing this and share this with the world, man.
Okay, my last thoughts is this. The spirit is your true self, God, that I am. This it's like gravity. You know, gravity just is. It's gravity that's outside. But if you jump off a building, that's when you realize that you didn't abide by the laws of gravity. You jumped off and you went against. So I look at spirit as that the soul is when we take on thoughts and feelings. So when it goes back to soul ties, your soul is your thought, the spirit taking on feelings and thoughts. That's what your soul is. Your spirit taking on feelings and thoughts. So at the end of the day, you can't have soul ties because you're connected through thoughts and feelings to others.
Right.
So soul ties do exist. So be careful.
Soul ties are real.
Are real. And I want to thank my brother for this opportunity. I hope we reach someone. I hope we've many more because I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try I pray to keep. That's what I pray to God is like. Pray for me to be more vulnerable as I need to be in order to help others. That's my goal.
Right.
Because I got stories. I done made so. You name the mistake, I've done it. I promise you.
Right. And listen, man, I want to say on behalf of myself again, Scarcity, and my partner Jacob Harrison, and the whole All in Motion staff, we thank you for coming through, and we'll hope to hear from you again soon, man.
Man, whenever, man, you know what it is. Whenever you need me, whatever you want to get on. Because, like I said, I got story for days and examples, and I can't wait to put it out when it comes to this type of stuff. Because I really want to help people by going into the bottomless pit and show you where I was at and how I'm still striving. It ain't no getting there. That's why I told my man, I'm really what I want to call it is Alexander striving to be great. But I'll take Alexander great.
Right.
Because he spoke it into existence. And I appreciate you and the whole staff. Nothing but love. I love your energy. I like what you're doing. Man, continue to do this, man. And whenever, just you know what it is. You got my number, just hit me and say, hey, you come up with a topic, because we're gonna keep dropping it until everybody's standing up.
Right.
Information till people stand up.
Real talk. All right, much love, man. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. Love, man. One love. Right. Peace.
All right, peace. Thank you guys for listening to another great episode on All in Motion. We appreciate your time, and we would like you all to go and visit our website at allinmotionpodcast.com. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the upper left-hand corner with the 3 bars and click on subscribe, because we would like you guys to get updates on all of our new episodes coming out. We wish you safe, happy travels, and a wonderful morning, afternoon, and evening. From the All in Motion podcast, this is Scarcity on behalf of my partner, Jacob Harrison. We want to wish you a blessed day. Peace.